Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. After our brief excursion into metaphysics, we're now back in the real world, and today I want to talk about mini EDC, which is mini everyday carry. And we'll be taking this from the perspective of the grey man. We're not going to be trying to look like we're tactical. In fact, we want to keep this as low-key and surreptitious as possible. We want something small we can carry with us anywhere, to the office, to the gym, on a day trip, to a fast food restaurant, and no one will bat an eye at it. And yet, on our person, we'll be carrying the most essential items we need just in case. And the just in case could be a power grid failure, it could be blocked traffic routes, it could be disconnected water, it could be civil unrest. Whatever is the reason, we'll have the basic items on us to help us survive. Everyday carry. Now, before I begin, I'd like to give a shout out to a YouTuber who has spent a long time dedicating himself specifically to this topic, and his channel is EDC TV, and he's got hundreds of videos on every aspect of all the gear items you can acquire to personalize your EDC. Firstly, we're going to talk about how to carry this. Now, in my previous video I gave a few examples. I used the Maxpedition pouch, which is absolutely ideal. But it's large and it's tactical. It stands out. It's not what most people would be carrying in their briefcase or in their gym bag. We need something much smaller and much less obvious. You don't want to stand out like you're a prepper or a survivalist. You want to look like you just, normal Joe or Jane. So the ideal way of carrying your basic survival kit, your basic EDC, is in a camera case, a digital camera case. I know they're not very popular anymore, digital cameras, because people have mobile phones and cellular phones, but their cases are the ideal size and no one notices them. No one cares that you're carrying a camera case. If you remember in the last video, I went into some detail about my stag skin EDC bag line, which obviously I discontinued several years ago. But the principle of the mini EDC, mini stag skin EDC, was that it's like a camera pouch, which can easily be worn on the waist. And everyone will think it's a digital camera pouch. The larger stag skin EDC is roughly the same size as the Maxpedition pouch, which is too large if you want to sneak your way through. Any small pouch will do. Any small camera pouch. Something small, you can put some things in, put it in your bag, and no one cares. You don't want to stand out. These are just two examples. You can get waterproof digital camera pouches of roughly the same size, and they're perfect. You do need one which zips up though. Drawstring pouches and purely pop stud pouches, you're likely to lose items as it gets knocked around inside your bag, or when you're sitting So you need a zip, small pouch, the size of a digital camera. Another big difference between the mini EDC and the one I showed in the previous video is with a larger EDC you can nicely sort out and arrange all your different items with Velcro, with rubber bands, little pouches. It can be very neat. The aim of this, the mini Greyman EDC, is to pack it as full of crap as possible. No one's going to be looking at it. That's the point. So you need to be able to fill it as packed as possible with everything you need. You don't have the space to neatly arrange things. You start doing that, you're going to end up with 3 items and you're going to regret leaving X, Y and Z behind. So use every available space inside your camera pouch. Let's have a look. Inside we have small powerful torch. Likewise, we have a spare battery for the torch. In a larger EDC, I would carry with me spare batteries for different items, including ones I'm not actually carrying, just in case I encountered them. Cordage. In this case, I'm actually carrying bootlaces, and these are Paracord bootlaces. So they fulfill 2 different functions. Firstly, I can replace my bootlaces, and secondly, I can strip these down for cordage. And they look like bootlaces. They don't look something paramilitary. Cigarette lighter, as always. This is your fire source. Don't mess around with flints and steels when you've got a small pack. A compass, again a mini silver. Now the compass is ideal if there's a geomagnetic storm, or if there is an electromagnetic pulse which knocks out electronics, which knocks out satellites, which knocks out Wi-Fi, which knocks out your mobile phone. It's also very useful in an urban setting if you don't know the street layout. You can find the direction to your home or to a safe place and just follow the bearing. For example, head due west. Many cities are very confusing if you don't know them like a taxi driver. With a compass, you just follow your bearing, keep going, and eventually you'll get home. A candle. This one's a small tea light. Now a candle is useful for 2 different things. Firstly, it provides a light source, a continuous light source. I think tea lights last a couple of hours. In case you find yourself at night having to bed down somewhere dark. They're also useful if you want to light a fire, because it means use your lighter to light the candle, you've got a continuous flame, and you can use this perpetual flame to light kindling, paper to start a fire. Next, a multi-tool. This one is a special operations group. It's actually too large, I would say, for an EDC, but it's probably the most industrial multi-tool I have. Always have a multi-tool. In the case of the mini EDC, you're probably not going to be carrying a knife, so you're going to need something which has a knife blade as well. So you don't need to carry a secondary knife. If you're going to carry a secondary knife, then carry one in your pocket and have it easy to access. Also, good suggestion if you're carrying a Greyman EDC, never carry an expensive knife. Limit your purchasing price to what you can afford. Somewhere between $10 and $20, pounds, euros is enough. Because you may find yourself in a situation where you need to throw it away quickly. Carry something which is useful as a tool. Carry it close at hand, and carry something you can throw away. You'll still have your multi-tool with your blade inside your EDC. Like I said in the previous video, a bar of chocolate. Me, I love Kit Kat peanut butter chunky. Carry a bar of chocolate. One good suggestion is you could buy these big multi-packs from supermarkets where they make their own version of more famous brands, and they make small size, bite-size pieces wrapped. Carry a couple of them rather than one large one. You never know when you will feel hungry. You never know when you will need that extra bit of energy just to get home. Okay. Water purification tablets. Carry a couple of them because you may not be able to light a fire, especially if you're in an urban setting and you're trying to hide away. Now in this case, like I said in the previous video, you can carry a bottle of mineral water with you, a small one, and that passes perfectly for normal Greyman existence. If you find yourself without a means of carrying water or fetching water, one thing you can do is just take a mineral water bottle from a public waste basket, a bin. Make sure you clean the mouth off a bit, empty the water, put your sterilising tablet in it and use that as a water source. Obviously you run the risk of catching whatever the previous drinker had around their lips, but in a survival situation, in a desperate situation, you don't really worry about such things. You can deal with antibiotics later. Waterproof matches. These have been the staple of survival kits for, well, since I was a little kid. Absolutely super. Carry a load of these and a striker with it. Very, very useful, and they stink. They also work sort of underwater. They take up no room, and in windy conditions or wet conditions, they will help you to get a fire lit. Finally, in your emergency EDC, money. Take some cash in note form. Now, in World War II, German soldiers, and in World War I, German soldiers were provided with gold and silver coins to put inside their belts, just in case they got lost and had to pay local people to help them survive and get home. I don't suggest carrying around gold sovereigns or gold eagles or silver eagles, not unless you're looking for long-term post-apocalyptic survival. But I do suggest you carry enough money that you can pay someone to help you get home. Enough money to pay someone to fix your car. Enough money that someone maybe leaves you alone and looks the other way. So work out in your own currency. It's going to be 20 or 50, I would say. 20 or 50. And don't touch it. Keep it as small as humanly possible inside your EDC. Only you know it's there. If you can find a way of maybe cutting open the lining and slipping it in, it's perfect. When I used to travel frequently to different countries, some of which weren't particularly pleasant at that time, I used to carry US dollars inside my shoes, between the insole and the outer shoe. And I'd carry about 100 US dollars. I'd obviously have a wallet on me, and I would also carry some more money in different pockets, but I would normally carry about $100 in notes in small denominations, not big denominations, small ones, inside my boots, between the insole and the outer layer. And that helped me more than once. Well, thank you for watching the video. Hopefully it's given you some ideas and suggestions. Please check out my other videos and remember to like and subscribe. And as always, be free.